University of Dayton. He studies both sociology and criminology and says this is a real threat we all need to be aware of.
People do assume that. It's like, I'm not a public person. My information is not out there. Well, if you're on TikTok, it is.
Gibson says anyone that posts on social media can have their voice cloned by bad actors. He says we all have to be cautious of calls we get, even if they sound like who they say they are.
Be cautious, to be careful. But I'm also going to tell people, assume the worst. Right? And I know that's really an awful thing to say.
You really can't be too careful these days. Dr. Gibson even suggests creating a secret family password or phrase so you know it's really them. Also, take a breath. These scammers try to use emergencies to get you to act quickly, and never, ever send money to someone unless you are 110% sure it's them. For the I-Team, I'm consumer reporter Xavier Hershovitz.
And he woke me up, and I really did believe it was him.
I agree.
It did. Well, just last week, the FCC made those kind of calls illegal. The unanimous vote extended anti-robocall rules to cover AI deepfake calls. The FCC said it gives state attorneys generals more legal tools to go after robocallers using AI-generated voices to impersonate celebrities, politicians, and close family members.
And Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Austin Chaney joins us. No impersonating this forecast. I mean, yeah, you're saying folks might have to bring out the snow blower, the snow shovel.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, this is going to be a good snow for us, and it could be the heaviest snow we've seen so far this winter, which isn't really saying a whole lot. I know it hasn't been a real exciting winter, but it's coming back tomorrow. So here's what you need out the door. Of course, all that warm weather gear, to at least keep you warm during the day. The jacket, hat, and gloves will be necessary. You also need that snow brush. You don't want to be driving down the road during the afternoon with that snow flying off your car. And pack this as well, your patience for that afternoon ride home. I think the snow could be coming down at a pretty good clip during the evening commute tomorrow. That's when we'll also start to lose the daylight and the roads may get a little bit slick. So you got to be careful out there. Here's our snow-producing system. Right now it's starting to move into Iowa. The snow's getting very close to Illinois. And by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, that snow will be falling across the Miami Valley. But for the time being, we are just dry and, of course, cold. Down to 31 degrees currently here in Dayton. And notice some 20 starting to creep in. We're at 28 degrees there in Winchester. Greenville, you're one of the first places that will probably see that snowfall out there late tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. But we are dry for now. Let's check it out on Futurecast. Through the rest of tonight, we'll just wait for the clouds to come back. We'll pause the clock here around 8:30 tomorrow morning. Overcast by then. We've got the cold air, but the snow's not here quite yet. Sometime late morning into the early afternoon, a few snow showers are possible, and then the snow becomes widespread between 1 and 3 p.m. and just continues to fall as we go right on through that evening ride home. Notice some of the darker blue showing up on our computer guidance. The snow this evening on the models does look a bit heavier. The temperatures look a bit colder, so those are two ingredients there for some heavier snowfall totals. The snow continues past sunset tomorrow night, tapers off after about 9 p.m. So here's the updated look at the forecast accumulation. I think the whole Miami Valley has a good chance of 1 to 3 inches of snow. But it does look like some heavier snow may set up along and south of I-70, and they were going with 2 to 4 inches of snow. That amount of snow, combined with those cold temperatures in the evening, could lead to some slick spots. Now, as you plan out your commute forecast, I think when the snow begins to fall around midday, the road temperatures are above freezing, so we're just looking at wet roads. Slick conditions develop tomorrow evening and could continue into tomorrow night, so just remember to take it easy out there. Now we get past the snow system, and the cold air sticks around for one more day. Saturday, it'll feel like winter, a high of 29 degrees. But we start a warming trend on Sunday that gets us back to 42, and that's a big-time warming trend. Look where it takes us in the Storm Center 7-day forecast. We've got the winter-like forecast for Friday into the weekend, but then we're back to 47 degrees on Monday, 52 for Tuesday, and 60 degrees for Wednesday. So there is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. Still a lot to fine-tune and tweak with this forecast, so be sure to check in with meteorologist Brittany Ritz starting out at 4:25 in the morning.